As the principal of Bella Vista Elementary School, I make sure that my students are valued and are capable, and that they have a strong learning foundation, and that their cultural experience is addressed and admired.
So one thing that stands out to me about Juan Rodriguez is he's very involved with the Bahia Vista community and the families, from preschool all the way up. He can spot a sibling just by looking at their faces. And he's available to them, and he's a really good communicator.
Every single time that we need something, we, as in the parents, as in the staff, every single time that we need something, all we have to do is go to his office. If he's there, his office is open, and he's always very welcoming.
The parents are full partners in their children's education here, and their academics is very important. And Juan welcomes any and all opportunities. He really has an open door policy.
I say, let's be proactive, let's be innovative, let's be creative, and let's give every child an opportunity to succeed.
Juan is definitely not a top-down leader. He lets us all have input and really listens to the teachers' needs and lets us implement what we think is most important into the curriculum.
Yeah, he's very supportive of the teachers, and he's very supportive of the teachers going out and finding new strategies to target the students.
It's never a dull moment here. You know, if the children need him outside, he will be outside. If it's recess, he will go play and have fun with them. It doesn't matter what it is. At any event, he will always be here. He's
very fair with discipline. He gives the children a voice, and he listens to all of their needs, and then together they come up with a solution to the problem. We don't know what we're going to do without him next year. Because he's one in a million. He gave us a chance of a lifetime for love and compassion, and sent to us a principal called Juan.
All right, I don't see the jam here. Let me look a little further. I'm sure I can find it for you. What I really like about MCOE is that I am an employee that started from the ground level, and I worked my way up. I had the opportunity to work in many, many departments. I've done projects that were very unique, very different, and sometimes nobody else really wanted to do them. But I would say, okay, I'll do it. I'll do whatever it is you need to get done. And from there, I was able to create great projects for them and do wonderful things.
I would describe my friend Adrienne Lamel as being very tenacious. The song by Tom Petty comes to mind, Won't Back Down. She is very dedicated. She's a grand leader.
She's knowledgeable, she's thorough, she's detail-oriented, but most importantly, she knows what the big picture is. And it's always about what's best for kids. She always goes back to the core, and that is, why are we in public education? And everybody that works with Adrienne knows that she's passionate, articulate, poised, and a true professional.
Adrienne is a most incredible employee. She's flexible and very, very hardworking, and pays great attention to detail. As a matter of fact, anytime we have a project that involves a lot of detail, Adrienne is our girl to do that.
I'm going to log you out for this vehicle right now, and when you're done, you can get these keys back to me first thing in the morning.
Will do.
Anything wrong with the car, you let me know.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Lou.
See you in a bit.
All right. I found myself in the unemployment office, and there was an opportunity to get some training. The training was for the Business Office Technology program called BOT. So I applied and started learning about computers, and that program was run by the Marin County Office of Education. So while I was there, they had an opportunity for me to go over and help them with some project, stuffing some brochures for a department. So I said, sure, I'll go. And they liked me, and I came back, and I kept coming back, and then eventually they asked me to work there temporarily, and then the position became available, and I applied.
I've known Adrienne since 1996. We began working together on the Federal School to Career Partnership Grant. So imagine this is a brand new grant, $1.3 million, and we get to design and set it up. Well, Adrienne came over to help me as my administrative support, and she did a fantastic job. We had to hire staff, we had to set up systems, we had to put in place all the procedures to make sure that we were able to get through a federal audit. And an audit not by one agency, but by two, the Department of Labor and the Department of Education. We ran a successful program, and so much of the credit is due to Adrienne's hard work, her commitment, her ability to be just a wonderful support system to the staff.
I've had the chance to move programs from one location to another. I've helped with proposals to purchase furniture for classrooms. I have done projects involving disposal of furniture and equipment, and it's been a great opportunity to be able to provide this service to Marin County Office of Ed, and it ultimately helps the classroom and the teachers, and that's a motivating force for me.
Adrienne is an awesome superstar. She is a wonderful person and a fabulous employee for the Marin County Office of Education.
She is quite a remarkable young woman.
I became interested in serving on the school board because I've always had an interest in children and in education. I'm a pediatric oncologist, and for the past 30 years I've taken care of children with leukemia and other kinds of cancer. I'm also an educator. I'm a clinical professor at UCSF, where I teach students, medical students, and interns.
Dr. Robbins is the consummate school board member. I've been a superintendent now for 20 years and worked with quite a few school boards, and I found Dr. Robbins to be the ideal school board member, every superintendent's dream.
I first ran for school board when our 3 boys were students at Ross School. I felt that I could contribute to helping the school be as excellent an academic environment as possible.
The one thing that really struck me when I was on the board with her, which was 2003 to 2007, was every time an issue came in front of her, she would always look at that issue through the lens of what is in the best interest of the student.
So I like that they've added some trees here. I think these are nice. And I think this is pretty right at the entrance.
Yes.
We've always wanted new trees at the front entrance, so I'm glad that December 31, 2005 was probably our biggest challenge as a school. We woke up to a huge flood. The entire town flooded, our entire school flooded, and board members assembled in the morning with brooms, boots, and we literally swept water from one end of the school out the back door into the back playground. We rallied after a couple of weeks of a damp, dark school. We were able to open up the school again. The community rallied, and they helped us to pass 2 bonds that provided funds so that we could rebuild the school and build it up out of the floodplain.
If you look at her tenure on the board, every year that she was involved, she was focused on helping to rebuild Ross School, which was originally built in the 1940s.
We now have a beautiful new facility with a very special feature. The town's recreation department, which provides after-school enrichment and sports programs for our students, has an office and a classroom right in the school itself.
So she was primarily involved here in redoing the school once it was flooded. So the school that you're looking at, beautiful Ross School, was largely due to the contributions and the time that Dr. Robbins spent working with staff and the architect and the contractor to put the plans together.
Being a board member isn't always easy, but that really is where the work of the school is done. It's really important for trustees to hang in there, stick with the board meetings, run for second terms, and help further their school's goals.
I believe that there is the right book for every kid, a reluctant reader or the most enthusiastic reader in the world, that will get them started on the path to being really an active reader. There are tons of kids who come in and they're very shy about reading. They don't feel successful about reading. You know what? I will find them the easiest thing in the world, and I will sit down and I will sound out every word with them. I will make sure that a kid can feel successful. It may take 10 books, it may take 100 books, but we will do that.
She's always pushing me towards harder books, which really helps my reading.
I think the whole point of a story is that it be read by somebody, and whether that story is read in a book or on a Kindle or on an iPad, honestly, I don't care. We are excited about authors, we are excited about books, and boy, we keep track of when things are coming. I keep a post-it list on my computer of students who are already signed up. To be on hold for a book before publication, they have to be on Mrs. Halpern's post-it. They have that sense of anticipation about another great book that is coming out.
My first time going to the library, and my first memory was when I was in kindergarten. I really wasn't that good at reading, and so I was just like, oh my gosh, what book should I get? Because I'm not that good, so I needed really easy books. And I asked Miss Halpern if she could help me, and she did, and it was really sweet of her. If you're not that good of a reader, they're just like, it's okay. They always have a book for you at your level.
I do believe in loud libraries, because what made me crazy about libraries when I was a kid was that wicked librarian always going shush. And excuse me, I am not a shush kind of person. That is not a natural thing for children, and I want children to be excited about what they read. I want them to be excited about finding information. I want them to think about reading and books and information on the computer in an excited way. And when you're excited, you talk, and sometimes you talk loud, and I think that's a good thing. Okay, so what about reading Gecko and Sticky? Oh, this is so cool. All right, so this is Gecko and Sticky. I had no intention of becoming a children's librarian at all. I was always a reader. I was always the kid who caused trouble in the library. Been kicked out of many libraries in my time due to making noise and having fun and asking to read the wrong book and that kind of thing. I had a teacher at Cal when I was in grad school who convinced me that children's literature was the most incredible thing in the world. And I fell in love. Happened on to the job in the Larkspur School District 32 years ago just by chance. I was actually looking for a recommendation from the librarian who worked for the Larkspur School District, and she had left. And I basically walked in and they said, oh God, would you like a job? I said, ooh, maybe. And I've been here ever since. I have devoted my entire career to running a great children's school library.